Welcome to the White Knuckling It podcast with Justin Burt
No, we got out of the life with the pre-roll.
and Mitchell O'Brien.
It was in his butt.
They share their experiences from white knuckling sobriety to becoming successful and living life in recovery.
Yeah, boy.
Well, welcome to White Knuckling It podcast. I'm your host, Justin Burke, and I'm followed with...
Mitchell O'Brien.
What's up, man?
Did you unmute me?
Oh, yeah.
You did not unmute me. I'm
didn't.
Mitchell O'Brien.
Haha.
That's not the first podcast we've done that in this week.
Nope. Nope. Not at all.
Because we learned from our mistakes.
Yeah, we're supposed to. Some of us make bigger and worse mistakes as we go along.
Oh, stop it. We're not going there tonight. I have tickets.
For what?
I hand them out to women on the street, and they have my phone number on them. Like, here you go. Give me a call.
Are you serious right now?
No, I think they were in the cup of my car from the event that we did, the recovery event with 217 Recovery.
Right.
And then I was going to throw them away and forgot.
Oh,
Picked them up this morning.
lame.
But maybe I'll write my phone number on there and hand them out to women on the street.
I don't advise that. You actually have business cards. That would be a lot more professional
More professional, but I feel
than
like
like a
the
raffle ticket.
man who gives us the business cards,
It's got your phone number on them.
I don't think he wants me to use them that way.
Oh,
Because that's ethics, which is something we could talk about. Being peer recovery coaches, we're supposed to have good ethics because we've taken ethics classes.
yeah. I don't claim to take ethics.
You've taken it twice.
Oh, is that long, boring class where they talk about all the legal stuff?
That one that kept waking you up in, yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's okay.
So we've had a busy week.
Yeah,
Last week was busy.
this week's been pretty busy
Yeah,
so far.
it has been. And it's like we're kind of coming off of the, I don't want to say stress, but busyness of doing one of the biggest events that we're going to do for 217 Recovery this year.
No, we'll do another one.
Well, we're doing
Like
another one.
October.
But still, this is like this event that we keep doing a couple times a year. It's the biggest one that we do.
Yeah.
You know, so we do a lot of events for people in the recovery community around here, try to make them as free as possible. And that was just a big one. So it's like we kind of came off of it just a little drained, and we're bouncing back. And now we have a week of, well, not a whole week, but we have events this coming week of volunteering with people in the recovery community at the National Cherry Festival. And so we're preparing for that. On the backside, we're doing the transportation, giving people rides to and from treatment centers in Michigan, which is a very high priority of what we do. So we're like juggling them.
Yeah.
So it just feels like we're like going.
Yeah.
Throwing a surprise weekend that Mitchell has to work.
Yeah.
I'm not salty about that.
Yes, it sounds like you have a resentment about that.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I found another ticket.
I found another ticket.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm beginning to think you're just pooping them out like they're your poop tickets.
Yeah, my pooper's in my left pocket.
Well, you never know. Every time you go use the can, it requires a ticket.
Oh, yeah. We should do that here.
We should.
And somebody's like, do you have a bathroom? We're like, do you have a ticket?
Right.
You don't? Well, family fairs.
Right
2
next
houses
door.
down. Yeah.
That'd be funny.
But I bring up being busy because one way to battle that is something that you've been thinking about today, which is...
What, self-care?
Yeah. I'd say you were perfect for it. Just self-care.
Yeah. I had a tooth pulled today.
Yep.
My jaw's a little numb. It's starting to hurt.
Does that feel like self-care right now in this moment?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah, because I could have totally ignored it and went on just dealing with just a sensitive tooth and then not really correcting the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like going to a place that only puts Band-Aids on it with the little silver stuff. I told him, I'm like, just pull the tooth already, you know, just pull it. It'll be fine.
And I offered to use fishing line and tie it to the door and close it, and you weren't into that.
No, because you have to pull the whole roots out with it.
Oh, okay.
Adult teeth, like, have roots. You know, like, when our baby teeth come in, like, there's roots there, but then our new tooth, like, absorbs the roots. I don't really know. Because it's kind of funny, like, you know, when you lose your baby teeth compared to your adult teeth are, like, an inch and a half long.
I actually know how this works. They told me when I was a kid. So that's why you put your tooth under your pillow, and the tooth fairy takes the root out for you while you're there. And they have like the magic wand, so it like keeps you asleep, and then and everything's good to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
I don't believe that. Don't believe Mitchell today.
Mitchell's on some funny, like
BS.
funny BS.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm tired. I just really am.
I've been kind of tired during this week as well.
There was a night that I did not get much sleep, and so that drew me out that day. So the last couple of nights I've been making sure that, because for self-care for me is making sure I rest enough. That's a big one. If I don't have enough rest, then I just go zombie mode. And there's people out there I talk to, they're like, yeah, I get 3 or 4 hours of sleep pretty, consistently. I can't do it, man. I just can't. If I get 5 hours of sleep, I'm not even going to go less than that, because this just sounds like a bad time.
Right.
If I get 5 hours of sleep more than a few nights in a row, worthless. I have no energy.
None?
It's gone. Or I'll have energy for like a couple hours and then just crash.
Wow.
Like too many energy drinks. So I really have to make sure that I'm sleeping enough to be a productive part of society.
Nice.
What are some things that you do for self-care?
Meditation.
Meditation?
Yeah, it helps unwind me a little bit. It just helps recenters me.
So what kind of meditations do you do?
Typically, like a 10-minute guided meditation on YouTube as well. Just type in like 10-minute guided meditation.
You find that cute girl with the tight yoga pants?
I don't watch the video. I close my eyes, so I just listen to it. So I don't know what's actually being portrayed in a video.
There was one that...
But I'm glad to see that you like doing meditation videos.
I can't believe you don't know what I'm talking
yoga
about.
girls.
You can't believe you don't know what I'm talking about.
Not really.
We had a meditation group here roughly a year ago, and that was brought up because they always kept going back to the same person's videos, and it turned out... I'm not going to say it turned out it was because, but you go in there and there's an attractive woman doing the meditation. Not in any kind of provocative way, but still. We're like, okay, we see what's going on here. So I just thought maybe that's what you got going on. I know you were looking for hamsters online last night.
No, I posted that for people that were curious about hamsters. So I just thought it would be good information.
Hamster Curious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's called xhamster.com.
I went to that website. I didn't see one hamster.
You didn't?
I might have found a gerbil or two, but no hamsters.
I can see that.
Oh, no, but like self-care is a big deal. You
It
got
is.
to take a day off every once in a while, and especially if you have a job that's emotionally draining. Like some jobs are physically draining. You got to make sure that you rest your body. But if you have an emotionally draining job, and not that I'm not trying to say it's negative, because you can have a positive, mentally draining job. Like
Yeah.
what we do, there's a lot of positivity around here, helping people and stuff like that. But I consider it high emotional drain just because we do come into contact with people that have a lot of stuff going on in their life, and we're there to help guide them. I think that no matter how hard you try, there's always a little bit of kind of helping to lift that weight with them a little bit.
I can see that.
Yeah, even if, because the whole thing about being a peer recovery coach is helping to guide somebody through, early recovery and trying to get that established in their life. But you can't do it for them. But at the same time, you do help them along the way. And I think it comes through that, even emotional empathy will drain you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
So, so I always try to make sure I get enough sleep, or I'll notice that when I don't read books that I like to read,
I fall asleep at them.
I do. I did that recently, actually. I woke up halfway through the night and the book I'm like sitting on my chest, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, I must have been real tired."
Right. Must have been, huh?
You ever do that scrolling thing on your phone where you're like laying in bed and it's right above your face and then you drop it on your face?
No, I typically hold it like this.
Oh,
But even if I'm laying down, I hold it. Like in between my chest and my abdomen.
there are times I'll be laying in bed and I'll like get my phone will vibrate or something, and I'll be like, I'm trying to sleep, but I get in there and it's like a message or Facebook notification, and then I'll be sitting there and I'll be so tired it'll slip out of my hand and it'll just like right in the face.
That was Mitch dropping his phone on the microphone.
I did that for sound effect.
I seen that. I was well aware.
Breaking the immersion.
So, what's one thing that you recently started doing that you used to do as a kid? Have you got anything like that? Maybe even teenager that you used to enjoy doing and you restarted doing it again?
Are you fishing for something that you know in my life?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I wasn't sure if maybe I had something and I just wasn't aware of it.
No, I wanted to talk about something I started doing recently
Let me see.
that I used to do as a teenager, and then I got out of it. Quit doing it because of my addiction.
Recently, I would say I started to buy books, but it's more for research for the other podcasts that I do,
Okay.
in which I enjoy. And I liked to read a little bit middle schoolish time, but it wasn't like a big thing. And that was all mostly historic fiction that I really liked. So I've done that recently. I won't necessarily put that. One thing I'll say is since getting into recovery, self-care was one of the first things that my therapist in my recovery program talked about. So I have collected some action figures. They're not even action figures. They're like little statues of some of my favorite shows.
Like G.I. Joes were like the little pop guys.
Some of them are like the little pop guys. They're not pop, but they're like that for a show that I like. And then I have a book series that I read that's also a show. And they're like little, I think they call them statuettes. They're
Okay.
like 6-7 inches long. You know, I'm a dude, so they're probably 6 inches long, and I think they're 7.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So that, honestly, if you break it down, it doesn't really add much actual value to my life. They're not functional. They're sitting on a shelf. But I enjoy that I have them.
Right.
So I would say something like that. I mean,
Okay.
are they toys? Sure, but they're for display. So, yeah, I guess you could say that.
Okay.
What have you done?
So
Started going to the dentist?
no,
Oh, okay.
no. One thing I started doing was, I don't know if I talked about this before on here or not, but for Father's Day, I told my daughter what I wanted for Father's Day.
Oh.
I know that's kind of messed up to pick out your own gifts, but you know when you just know something that you want, it's better to get something that you want than something that you'll probably never use, right? and so like they can see me have joy with this item at all times, and so she got me a record player,
Oh.
like for vinyls,
Yeah.
and I started buying vinyls again.
I forgot that you had told me about that. That's
Yeah.
actually really cool.
Music's a really good coping mechanism for me, and I like a lot of like '90s grunge rock. Like Pearl Jam, really to me only had one good album, and that was the 10 album. You know, like with Even Flow and Once on it. You know, and then Nirvana had countless of good albums and songs. But my mom got me one of their like greatest hit songs albums, which was cool and all. But the other day, last week, I've actually found the Naked Baby album by Nirvana.
But it's a
the Nevermind.
black cover?
No, Nevermind. No, it shows full baby swimming in a pool.
That's creepy.
It is a little creepy that in today's society that we still sell child pornography.
Don't.
Because it's on the Nirvana album.
It's weird. It's creepy.
But it is what it is, you know, and I'm going to hold that piece of treasure forever. And the vinyl was silver.
Stop saying it like that. It's so bad. I'm going to chalk this up to your face hurts.
It does a little bit.
I was trying to remember a Pearl Jam song. I can't remember the name of it that I really liked.
Jeremy?
No, I actually didn't like that song.
Oh, okay.
They overplay it to this day.
Yeah.
If you listen to the rock station around here,
Yep.
dude, if you have that on, you'll hear it 3-4 times a day.
Yeah.
There's another one though. It was in a snowboarding game that I played on my PlayStation 2. That's what I always remember. I can't remember what it was. But I kind of like those bands. Music was a really big one for me. It was actually the most effective self-care that I had. I didn't realize that I had used that getting through stressful and traumatic situations when I was younger. That's what I would do. I was always put my headphones in and those anti-skip CD players and just drown out the world. And that's probably why I have 60% of the average 37-year-old man's hearing. So
that's what they claim.
But I still do it. And when I got into my recovery program, my therapist wanted me to pinpoint something for self-care. And that's the first thing that came to my mind. And it worked. And specifically, I know you'll appreciate this, I Prevail's second to last album.
Okay.
Their last album wasn't out yet. It came out since. But everything on that album just spoke to my heart. And there were slow songs that would literally make me cry because I felt the words that were being put in there. But it's like it would make me cry away just the stress and the overwhelm.
Right.
And then there were the heavier songs that would like pump me up and get me feeling good and strong. And so there's just very relatable. So I can feel that. And I also think there are some things that I enjoy because you could say that getting a record player is doing it the hard way when it comes to music. Because you have to have the vinyl, you have to have the player, you have to play it when you can literally just
hit a couple buttons and stream it off my Apple Music.
right.
But you know, it's just the whole nostalgic moment of
Exactly.
like my childhood, and like even older people used to collect vinyls and actually had the big horn record players and stuff. I'd love to get one of those one day, to tell you the truth.
I've heard one of those play one time. My grandparents had one.
Yeah.
My dad's side, so we weren't there very often, but they played it for us when I was very, very little. And so I barely remember it.
Right.
But no, like that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes we get these things and they are more difficult to use than current technology, but it's nostalgic.
Yep.
And the process of doing it brings back good feelings.
Yeah.
I follow a guy on Facebook who does woodworking, and he uses all, like, not just tools that are styled antique.
Yeah.
He finds antique tools, restores them to use them. And he makes furniture and other tools and stuff like that, all antique style, making that kind of thing. And he's really good at it. And he said it's very therapeutic too.
I'm sure it is. 'Cause it takes a lot of hands on deck to create antique furniture using all old antique tools compared to what we have in today's technology.
There are some things that I like to do what I would call the old way. Nothing's really coming to my mind. I like to put things together.
Okay.
When I was early in recovery, I made some paracord bracelets that I really liked. I still have one that I wear because some of them sucked.
Yeah.
One that I wear sometimes, but I like to do intricate little things. I used to play with Legos when I was a kid, and I would never be the kid. I would get a Lego set, and then I would make it with the directions, and then destroy it within a week. And then I just had this big tub of Legos, like the size of your cooler over there.
Right.
And I would just dump that bitch out on the floor and start making my own stuff. And it'd
Yeah.
be all mismatched colors. But I made an F-16 fighter jet one time, which, I mean, it was blocky. It was made out of Legos, but you could tell it looked like the F-16 fighter jet specifically, you know?
Right. Minecraft style.
Minecraft style, yeah. But it had the general shape. If somebody looked at that, they would be like, oh, it's an F-16. Not just a jet. Like, you could tell what it was.
Right.
And that was probably made out of like 80 different Lego sets I just pick and choose pieces from. But yeah, so I like to do stuff like that
I
sometimes.
used to have a bunch of Legos when I was a kid, and we had the little platforms that you could build on and stuff too. And it got to a point because back in the day, you know, you weren't smart enough to lay down a sheet on the floor to like, so that way when you dump all your Legos out, you don't have to pick them out of the carpet. And then you end up missing some, you know, you can just pull up the sheet, dump it all back in the bucket or whatever you got, you know. And well, back in the day, I'd never pick up my Legos all the way. And eventually that bucket went from being full to like half full to why do I even have Legos anymore? And my mom's like, well, every time I step on one, I throw it away. And later in life, I found out why. Stepping on things on the bottom of your feet just don't feel the greatest, especially Legos. Like, that just don't feel so great.
So I can relate to that, but instead of a sheet, we found this other thing because I have 3 younger brothers. So
Yeah.
the Legos just cycled through all of us. And we didn't get cool stuff in my family until like second and third, like closer to the third, where we got one of those little kid tables, but the top was all Lego.
What?
Yeah, it wasn't very big. It was like half the size of this table, but in the middle was a square that had a net, and you could just toss your Legos in there. It didn't hold all our Legos, but it held a good amount. And then around that was all like Lego thing that you could build off of. I've seen them in like doctors' offices or something like that.
Yeah.
We got one of those. But what I did is I got this little tote. I shouldn't say little. It's probably about 1 foot by 2 feet,
Okay.
and probably about 8 inches tall. And I'd put all my Legos in there. And we had another one, but this one was clear.
Ooh.
So you would dump some of the Legos out on the floor, but you would keep a bunch in there because when you're digging for them, you just hold it up over your head because all the little bitches that you needed to make the real detailed stuff
Yeah.
would all fall to the bottom. And you'd be like, okay, so there's one over, and then you'd shake it up, see if you can see different stuff. That was my system.
That's pretty smart.
But we still would dump them out on the floor and didn't use the sheet, and then we'd have to pick them out of the carpet.
Damn.
Yeah, so I think there are definitely lost ones. I wrote a blog about that once, actually, about the hidden treasures in my toy box growing up.
Oh, yeah, I read that once.
Yeah, all the little cool stuff. I was too little to reach all the way to the bottom when I was really little, and I can remember like all my cool little toys would fall down into the corners. And then eventually I got old enough to where I could reach, like grew. My body actually grew, and I could reach down in there, and it was like finding a treasure.
Yeah.
Of all my favorite little toys that I used to play with. I would beg my mom for a long time, and she would pick them out eventually, like sometimes. But, you know, she's a mom and started having other kids, so she was like, nah, I ain't doing that.
Right.
Grow. Just grow. You'll figure it out.
Uh,
It's so funny remembering that because that toy box was so big when I was 4 years old.
yeah, and now you look at it, you're like,
It's still in my mom's basement, and I see it. I can pick it up and throw it across the room now if I wanted to, but it was like building size to me when I was a little kid.
Right.
Just weird.
It's our whole perspective when we're 2.5 feet tall versus 5 feet tall.
Yep. That happened with Matthew across the street. Not when we did the fishing event.
Yeah.
He had seen my son Logan around when we did that football party with the hot sauce.
Yep.
And then Logan walked in at the fishing event and he looks at me and he looks at him. And he's like, "This your kid?" I was like, "Yeah." Like, you just saw him not that long ago. He goes, "He grew like 6 inches since then." And I can't really tell because he started to actually slow down. Last summer? It was last summer or the summer before? I think it was last summer.
He was a lot shorter.
He was, but he literally grew almost 1.5 inches in 1 month.
What?
I took him to the doctor, and he had never had blood work done. It was a new doctor because his other doctor retired or whatever. I don't know. So I took him to a doctor at my doctor's office, and they're like, "Let's just do blood work just to make sure." And so then you go in the following month to, get results.
Right.
And they do all the measuring and weighing and all that again. And he was 1.5 inches taller in almost exactly a month between August and September.
Damn.
Yeah. I was like, "Dude, you need to stop growing." I think he's taller than me now.
Yeah. That's going to be hell buying pants. When they just grow like a weed like that. Because before you know it, you're like, "Boy, why you waiting for a flood?" "Well, why don't you buy me some new pants, Dad?"
I just got him some pants this
Did
year. Yeah. So it's not too bad. He wants to wear pajama pants everywhere. You know those flannel pajama pants? He just wants to wear that everywhere. Because he says it's cool and that's what his friends do.
You can't represent yourself in pajama pants.
I know. That's what I tried to say. I bought him some Dickies.
There
I
you
was
go.
like, "You want to be cool? Have these." I was like, "Don't expect me to buy you too many. They're expensive."
Take care of them.
He likes them, though. I finally got him wearing real pants and some Dickies.
There you go.
So, but
Anything else you want to talk about?
we're both pretty tired, man.
I know my mouth's killing me now.
I think we need to go do some self-care.
My numbness is wore off. So
You get an extra, you know how they say stuff like, "Do you want to do this?" And somebody will respond, "Well, I want to do that. Like I need another hole in my head."
yeah, I got another hole in my head today.
That's the way I feel about the dentist.
Yeah,
Like I need to do that. Like I need another hole in the head. And I'm like, that's what they do.
yeah, but that's really good because a lot of your health of your teeth and gums contribute to so much other things. And can heighten infections.
I'm working on it.
Bacteria grows in between places.
I think I need to get the brakes done on my car before I do my teeth.
Dentist office is free, Mitchell.
No, it's not.
With our insurance, yes, it is.
They only pay like 60% or something like that.
No, read it. It's free.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I didn't pay nothing today to get my tooth pulled.
I don't understand.
Not even a copay.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's why we were both
She say it's free, and then the guy who gets it for us says that they pay 60%.
of crowns
Oh.
on crowns.
Oh.
He handed us both explanations of our dental insurance yesterday.
I read through it, and I was like, I don't understand this.
Teeth cleaning free.
Looks like it's in Russian to me.
It's in English, bro,
I know.
and it looks Russian.
To me.
Okay, we should dig into this a little bit. So, what really happened when you were younger that made you scared of the dentist?
So, you've seen my mouth. That sounds disturbing, but
Well, yeah, you're speaking to me. I'm kind of looking at it because that's the polite thing to do.
that's gross. I don't know. You might be right. I have no idea. But I would go to the dentist when I was younger. We've never been a well-off family, so it was always the Medicaid dentist that we've had talks about recently.
Yeah.
And every single time they're like, "You need braces." And obviously, you look at me today as an adult, I needed braces. And so then
They say that about my daughter too, but she won't take care of her teeth. So I was like, "No braces. You don't take care of your teeth. I ain't buying any braces."
there's a lot to unpack there. But I would go home, and then my dad would be like, "So, how was the dentist?" I was like, "They told me I need braces, and I need to go see an orthodontist." And then he would just talk me out of it, tell me how painful it is, and how everything will be fine anyway. Dude, I have a tooth basically coming out of the middle of the roof of my mouth.
Yeah, that needs to be pulled.
Yeah, I've had that since I was very young. And it makes me, I didn't even realize this till we started recording stuff. Like when I recorded with Corey the first time, or my other podcast, or this, I have a lisp.
A little bit.
And it's because of that.
Yeah, because it hits your tongue.
Yeah. I never even realized that. Nobody's told me that before. And I had to hear it myself.
Ah.
But, so my dad always would just like try to get me not to do it because it was, and he's said since it's because it's expensive. I was like, oh, cool. I really appreciate you. You know, but then I don't know. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise because now I have the means to do something about it.
Yeah.
Because when my addiction got really bad, and I don't hide this from anybody. It was like 15 or 16 years I struggled with alcoholism from the very beginning because it went out of control day one. Like, I wasn't an everyday drinker back then, but it was never in control. So by the end, when it got to be a really bad issue and my depression was really, really hardcore, somewhere around there, personal hygiene just kind of disappeared. And I don't think, dude, there was a time where the only time I would brush my teeth was if I was going to the doctor because I knew that my doctor would look at them. And it's like, who are you trying to fool? But that was a part of my addiction for me. And you obviously know that I take better care of myself now because I smelled like a dead body back then and you weren't a part of my life back then.
No, but I smelled you when we first started working together. I told you had to step your game up. I was like, bro, you need cologne. You talk about needing to meet females, but you're not even wearing cologne. You're not even spraying nothing on to attract.
All right, so to answer your question from earlier, something I do now that I used to is wear cologne again.
Yeah.
And I found my favorite kind. It's still a thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of them are. I like how you got really excited because you blew my eardrums out in my headphones.
Sorry.
It's cool. It's cool.
I'm gonna hard limiter it.
I'm glad you got excited.
That fancy board of yours should have a hard limiter inside of it.
Well, I don't know.
I don't know if it does, but
I got you turned down compared to me because you already speak louder than I do.
And I have a lower voice.
A little bit.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I saw us both in a podcast recording. But
yeah,
so I wear cologne now, and I enjoy it. I have a couple different kinds. I found my favorite kind, and Corey's still trying to get me to buy that P. Diddy cologne. And I was like, I just don't think I can support that, man.
You trying to get diddied? Really, bro?
No.
It
Corey
like you are.
is trying to get me to buy that Diddy cologne. And I didn't know what it was at first. I almost did it. Almost.
Did you?
And then I found out what it actually was.
What was
he
it?
was messing with me. I can't remember what it was called. I'd have to look it up on Amazon. But this was before I bought, what is that one that you have, the blue and the black one?
The Guess?
No, Sexual Noir. No. I got a sample of Sexual Noir. The Guess. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
Guess.
I got Guess. I got blue and black, I guess.
Yeah, I like the black more too.
Yeah.
The blue's not bad, but you know what I don't like about the black?
What?
That you can't see through the bottle.
Mine you can.
Nope, not mine.
It looks just like the blue one, but it's just got a black top.
Nope, mine's like smoked over so you can't actually see how much is in it.
Oh.
So
I got a couple bottles like that. Like Burberry is really good for that.
I tried that Duke Cannon cologne. That wasn't bad, but it didn't last.
Because it's a body spray.
Yeah.
It's like Axe.
Well, it came in a cologne thing, but it wasn't, they have body spray also as a separate product, but it was a lot less. Like there was not much there, and it was more expensive, which was dumb because,
Always.
yeah. Yeah.
I'll just put it out there. You know where I go get all my cologne at?
Where?
TJ Maxx.
I think you've told me
Marshalls.
that.
Because they always sell it on clearance, like half price from what they would really be retailed for.
So I found what I wanted, my Nautica, my favorite, for like a third of what I used to pay for it.
But you bought it as a tester bottle.
No, this is updated news. And people can say that we got off on a rabbit trail here. This is self-care for me now.
Yeah.
Smelling good in the morning.
Yeah.
When
Definitely.
you walk in and there's some fine honey that walks up to you and goes, damn, you smell good. You feel good for the rest of the day. You really do. You know? I can't believe I just said that.
And in Mitchell's case, it doesn't matter if she's 70 or 80. It still makes you feel good.
Whatever. You're the geriatric dater here. We don't even want to hear about it. 37-year-olds and breaking people's hips. Anyway. Not everything I just said is true, but it's joked about. No, I found it on Amazon, the exact same stuff
Yeah?
for like $20 a bottle, and it's the double size one.
Really? And you didn't tell a brother to hook a brother up?
What?
What? You didn't
You
even
said
bother
you
to
didn't
order
like
me?
that one.
What, Nautica? I got like 4 bottles of Nautica at home.
I don't have as many as you, but I've got a couple that I like, and I'm sticking with them.
Yeah, I got like 30 bottles of different colognes at home.
I'll send you a link, bro.
I don't need your link now. They ain't on sale no more.
No, that's the normal price of it now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I've went through an entire bottle of it now. I got that one that I found that was a display unit, which was half the size. It was like a 1 point something ounce. These are 3.4 ounces, which those are the big bottles of cologne.
Yeah.
People are like, these guys are just rambling about cologne. This is self-care, homies.
Self-care.
Yeah.
Self-care.
You want to smell some good boys.
That's what today's podcast was all about. It was about self-care.
Yeah.
Yep. And being nostalgic about things that we used to do in our childhood that used to bring us joy.
Well, and that's hand in hand with self-care.
Right.
There's a lot of things that I've done here and there, or I go places. I like to go places that I went to when I was younger and just to kind of be there. And a lot of that is, I grew up in this town, so around here.
Right.
But even if a place doesn't exist anymore, like I like to go to what's there now. Just be like, I used to do stuff here,
Right.
So.
All right. Well, my mouth is really starting to hurt. And I think I'm done for the night.
Cool. Well, thanks for having a podcast with me. I know that it was arduous for you because of your mouth issues.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this was an issue. This was a fix. So
Yeah.
it was the beginning of an end to that
Yeah.
tooth
Pain.
issue. You're going to get a whole grill?
I might.
I'm thinking platinum.
Man. Platinum's too soft. It bends real easy when it gets heated up against the body. So your mouth is like one of the warmest spots of your body because it's always closed. So your platinum will bend. I used to have a platinum class ring when I was in high school because that was the shit, right? Platinum. Everybody had platinum back in the day, like mid 2000s. I mean, early 2000s. Like 2003, I think 2002 is when I got my class ring. Your sophomore year, I graduated in 05. So, yeah, like 2002 is when I got my class ring. And, yeah, it was platinum. And it literally bent to my finger.
You graduated in 2002?
2005.
Oh, I'm
Like
tired.
2002 would have been, I don't know, I was a sophomore, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's when I got my class ring.
Oh, okay. I didn't get a class ring because I was homeschooled, but I did go to a public school.
I actually got 2 of them because I sent it back because it had something wrong with it. And I paid for the insurance.
Yeah.
And they claimed that they mailed it back to me and never received it. So I called them back about a month later, like, where's my class ring at? You guys said you guys mailed it out a month ago, still haven't gotten it. Okay, well, we'll get it right to you. They made me another class ring.
Huh.
Shipped that one to me. And then, guess what happened after the second class ring showed up?
You got the first one?
I got the first one.
I can't remember what I did that with. It was like a shirt or something when I was younger. I was like 19 or 18 or something, and I ordered something because you had to be ordering out of like catalogs back then.
Yeah.
And it
East
said,
Bay was awesome.
yeah,
You know about that, Mike?
I think so.
It's where they had all the cool shoes at. Like if you're a basketball.
My friend
players and
had
stuff.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you could order customized jerseys out of there too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I ordered something, and it said it was supposed to be like 5 days or something like that. Or 5 days after they got it, and it was,
Right.
You just knew how long mail took back then. And then it was like a week and a half later. I'm like, hey, I never got this. Like, well, we sent it. And so they sent me a new one, and I got that one, and then eventually I got the other one. It's like it got lost in the mail. Eventually
Yeah, it's like it got stuck somewhere.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, yeah. But all right.
All right. Thanks for listening to us ramble about self-care. Make sure to hit us up at whiteknucklingit.com. We've got the White Knuckling It Facebook page. We've got the White Knuckling It X page, and we post this on all of those and other recovery-related things. So we hope to see you there. If anybody ever has a question that they want to ask us about recovery or anything like that, hit us up. There's multiple ways to get a hold of us and ask us stuff. But other than that, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.
Later.
Thanks for listening to the White Knuckling It podcast. For more details on the show and for more episodes, log on to whiteknucklingit.com.
That's all that matters.
It is true. It's all that matters.
And you're recording.
Yeah, I hit the button early.
So we do that pre-roll. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh, man, my mouth's starting to hurt. I hope the Tylenol kicks in.
We don't have to do a long one.
No. Self-care.
Yeah. And 3 M's.
Meetings, meditation, and masturbation. You
Self-care.
barely even taught self-care. Yeah, 3 M's. Yeah.
Am I allowed to talk about you getting your tooth pulled?
Yeah.
Okay, because that'll explain to people why.
Oh, I was definitely going to say that.
You don't sound much different in the recording though.
No? Not right now? Nice.